Take a breather there. Hold on. Hold on. Take a breather.
On a night when fans thought they had seen it all, WWE delivered one of the most jaw-dropping twists in modern wrestling history. Roman Reigns, the tribal chief who has dominated the company for years, returned in thunderous fashion and realigned himself with two of the most iconic names in professional wrestling history. What unfolded was nothing short of breathtaking: the rebirth of The Shield, a new alliance that instantly sent shockwaves through the WWE universe. The sight of Reigns standing shoulder to shoulder with Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose, better known to some fans now as Jon Moxley, was enough to bring an entire arena to its feet. It wasn't just nostalgia. It wasn't just another reunion. This was a declaration, a warning, and perhaps the beginning of a new era that will forever alter the trajectory of WWE. A brief history of The Shield. To understand the magnitude of this moment, you have to revisit the origins of The Shield. The faction debuted in late 2012, introducing the world to three hungry young lions: Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Dean Ambrose. Together, they wreaked havoc across the WWE landscape, dismantling legends, defeating top-tier stars, and redefining what a faction could look like in the modern era. The Shield wasn't just another stable. They were a movement. Dressed in black tactical gear and entering through the crowd, they had an aura of danger that set them apart. Their triple powerbomb became one of the most devastating finishers in wrestling. Their chemistry was undeniable, and for a time, they were untouchable. But success breeds tension. By 2014, betrayal tore the group apart when Rollins shockingly turned on his brothers to align with the Authority. That fracture led to years of blood feuds, bitter rivalries, and unforgettable matches. Each man went on to carve his own legacy: Reigns as the tribal chief, Rollins as the visionary, and Ambrose as the unhinged lunatic fringe, before reinventing himself outside WWE. The Shield seemed destined to remain in history, a relic of a bygone era. Until now. The shocking return of Roman Reigns. The September night on Raw was like any other, or at least it started that way. Seth Rollins stood in the ring, leading his faction and gloating about his dominance over Raw. The visionary believed he had the roster under his control. Cody Rhodes was absent. Brock Lesnar was targeting other prey. Rollins looked untouchable. Then the lights dimmed. The arena went silent for a split second before the familiar bass of Roman Reigns' theme thundered across the sound system. The crowd erupted into chaos. Some screamed in disbelief. Others chanted his name: "Tribal Chief! Tribal Chief!" The commentary team nearly lost their voices, with Michael Cole shouting that business had just picked up. But what happened next was something nobody could have predicted. Roman didn't come alone. Ambrose returns, and the unthinkable happens. As Rollins prepared himself for a fight, another theme hit, a song fans hadn't heard in years. The unhinged, unpredictable Dean Ambrose stormed down through the crowd, just like old times. The arena nearly came apart at the seams as fans realized what was happening. Rollins' expression told the entire story. For years, he had been both ally and enemy to Reigns and Ambrose. He knew the power they held when they were united, and in that moment, it became clear. Rollins wasn't the enemy anymore. He was the brother welcomed back into the fold. Roman extended his fist. Ambrose followed, and after a long hesitation, Rollins finally joined in. The crowd exploded as the iconic Shield fist bump returned to WWE for the first time in years. Why this alliance changes everything. This wasn't just a reunion for nostalgia's sake. The Shield reforming changes the balance of power in WWE forever. For months, the roster has been dominated by factions: the Judgment Day ruling Raw, the Bloodline creating chaos on SmackDown, and Rollins' visionaries establishing control. But the Shield represents something different. They are proven main eventers, multi-time champions, and veterans who know how to win on the biggest stages. Together, they are an unstoppable force. Roman's power and presence, Rollins' cunning and in-ring brilliance, and Ambrose's unpredictability and sheer toughness create a trio that no faction can match. Whether it's the Judgment Day, the Bloodline loyalists, or even Cody Rhodes' allies, no group has the firepower to stand toe-to-toe with this alliance. The WWE locker room reacts. Backstage sources reported chaos in the locker room following the shocking return. Superstars were said to be both excited and terrified. Excited because the Shield's return means WWE is about to deliver some of the most compelling stories in years. Terrified because the Shield's dominance often comes at the expense of everyone else. One anonymous star reportedly said, "If the Shield is really back, we might as well kiss our main event spots goodbye. Nobody's going to get through them." Meanwhile, fans online went wild. Within minutes, hashtags like hashtag the Shield returns, hashtag Roman Reigns, and hashtag WWE Forever trended worldwide. One fan wrote, "This isn't just wrestling history, it's wrestling immortality." Another tweeted, "The new Shield versus the Judgment Day has to happen. WWE, make it happen." Questions about the Bloodline. One of the biggest questions following Roman's return is this: what does this mean for the Bloodline? For years, Roman defined himself as the tribal chief, leading Jimmy Uso, Solo Sikoa, and others into battle. The Bloodline became one of the most dominant factions in wrestling history. But now, with Roman aligning himself with the Shield, fans are left wondering whether the Bloodline has been abandoned. Is Roman closing that chapter of his career? Has he chosen to prioritize brotherhood over family? Or will the Shield and the Bloodline collide in an epic war for supremacy? The road ahead. The return of the Shield opens countless possibilities for WWE. Imagine the Shield versus the Judgment Day in a faction warfare storyline. Imagine them colliding with Cody Rhodes, Drew McIntyre, and Sami Zayn in a battle of modern heroes. Imagine Roman using the Shield as a platform to reclaim his throne as undisputed WWE champion. Every possible direction is compelling, and that's what makes this moment so exciting. WWE has reignited the most powerful story in its modern history, and fans can't stop talking about it.